Hi, my name is Lieutenant Lt Aswalt, and welcome to Rio, the sequel to Favela we all desperately needed. Rio takes place in, if you could believe it, Rio de Janeiro. God, first Greece and now Rio? You can tell they hired the guy who names every Marvel movie for this. The map is focused on a mall in the middle, acting as the nougaty center, with stringy, bready streets surrounding it on all sides. But before getting into this delicious AI-generated pastry, let's just take a moment to take in and appreciate the beautiful, vibrant city full of sparkling windows and art that mostly just says the name of its city, in case you forgot where you are and needed a quick cheat sheet. So let's start our breakdown where all good hip-hop artists do, the streets. While the north and south streets are reserved for spawns, the east and west both act as superhighways between them, but with wildly different vibes. The alleys on the west is almost a whole other two-lane map of its own, with a windy section backed by spawn, perfect for oh-shitting your way into a kill that you don't deserve. And its very own face-off arena in the middle, with each side getting a power position with different trade-offs. For instance, this side has a bit of cover, but there's two paths to watch, while on the other side, this power position has cover, the high ground, and only one lane to watch, but no one ever comes up here. In contrast, the main street on the other side is more straightforward. Literally, but with an added sky bridge in the middle as a nice little wrinkle. Now there isn't too much cover up here, but you can get a pretty solid line of sight back into each spawn if you use the mounting mechanic everyone's forgotten about by now. And while the official way up is to take the stairs, if you're feeling a little bathmophobic this morning, feel free to get down on all fours and bear climb your way up through the flowers on either side. I won't tell anyone. Then there's the mall. Mercado Rio Largo. And let me tell ya, this Mercado in Rio sure is Largo, with 3 whole stories that you cannot go to. The mall is best described as the hill, in the classic King of the Hill style layout, with every entrance immediately being met with stairs leading you up into the main center level. It's literally a hill, with 10 different ways in, but only one way out, in a body bag. Or commemorative urn if your religion allows. And it has everything you could ever want from a mall. Clothes for men, clothes for women, jewelry store you're not sure you can afford to even breathe near, a place to fix your phone, and that's it. At least on the first and only accessible level. Hold on, is there no other way for mall goers to even get to these floors besides a single elevator? What if there's a fire? Seriously, doesn't it seem like there's a missed opportunity here to not use the upper decks? Like imagine gunfights across the courtyard below, maybe some parkour on the upper walls. I mean, I'm not a game dev. Maybe they play tested something like it and it turns out that sucks, but I don't know. At least it'd be something different than another 3-lane King of the Hill reboot that no one's gonna end up liking anyway. Pro tip, shoot out this glass here and become a mannequin yourself to both hide from enemies and make it so you're technically not lying when you tell people that you used to model. Let's take a look at how different game modes work on Rio, shall we? Here's where the bombs are in Search and Destroy, here's the flags in Dom, and this is where every tag drops in Kill Confirmed. And I know you're probably sitting there asking, Gary, are there any other parts of Rio that you haven't mentioned? Are there by chance any pointless interiors like most maps? And the answer is yes, of course there are. There's this cafe in Spawn that I didn't even realize you could go inside of because usually I just sprint around it. Holy shit, I'm floating. Then there's the garage over in the alley. And to be fair, this one actually does serve as a pretty good flanking route from the garage to the garage. Has anyone else noticed that the callouts on these maps have gotten worse over the last few months? Like garage, mall, residences. I don't know, they're just like nondescript. Like what exactly makes this a market and this a plaza? Then there's the tram station by the opposite spawn with a real life tram that you can't go in. Sorry if I got your hopes up. This isn't COD Ghosts. So now that all 3 new maps in Season 1 and the only 3 original maps in the game have all been released, I think it's about time that we stack rank them in the only way that we know how. By which generation would enjoy playing them the most? First is meat, and clearly it's for the Zoomers, whose idea of delayed gratification is when the YouTube player lags for a bit before their ad block kicks in. Then the boomers get Rio, because they're the only ones old enough to remember that malls ever existed, and that leaves Greece for Gen X, because they're both incredibly forgettable and... I'm sorry, what were we talking about? And that's actually where I'll end today's tour. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, check out the last one we did on whatever map this is. And everyone else can exit through the gift shop to pick up the same stuffed giraffe that's been on every single map so far. I'm pretty sure it's following me.